Regards two Met police officers, Rachel.
Yes, two Met police officers who took shameful crime scene photos of the bodies of murdered sisters Bieber Henry and Nicole Smallman have been sacked, thrown out of the Metropolitan Police after a tribunal today. This is PC Jamie Lewis, 33, and former officer Dennis Jaffa, 47 years old. Both of them, you may remember, were placed at the cordon to protect the crime scene in the early hours of June the 8th last year. This is after the two sisters had been murdered by Daniel Hussein. They'd been out celebrating a birthday party in Friant Country Park in Wembley. They'd been dancing, playing music, playing with lights when they were both murdered, and their bodies found a few days later. But instead of protecting the cordon, protecting the crime scene and the search for evidence, as these two Met officers were meant to do, instead they left their post to take unauthorised photos of the two women's bodies on their phones, which they then shared with their colleagues. Jaffa also sent the images to members of the public, and they also described the two murdered sisters, Bieber and Nicole, as dead birds on social media. Now, the pair pleaded guilty to misconduct in a public office at the Old Bailey earlier this month. They've also been told they could face prison terms of some length when sentenced next month. But today's tribunal was all about their role within the Met, and it ruled the two officers breached 6 established police standards, including confidentiality, honesty and integrity, as well as authority, respect and courtesy. Assistant Commissioner Helen Ball, who chaired this accelerated tribunal in West London, decided both men committed gross misconduct. We know that Lewis is going to be dismissed from the Metropolitan Police immediately. Jaffa, who has already quit the force, he would have been dismissed without notice if he was still a serving police officer.
And the Met will have been very aware that all eyes were on them when it came to those two individuals.
Absolutely. And these two individuals have come at a time when the Met is facing intense, increasing scrutiny. You also had, of course, the Sarah Everard case, other officers as well, allegations about misogyny, and this case really absolutely horrendous. And the Met have been very clear from the start about how they feel about what these two men did.
While it would be absolutely ridiculous to suggest that two officers who in the Met who have behaved in the most unprofessional fashion in any way symbolises the incredible army of 30+ thousand very brave men and women, there is a problem at the Met. Let's be candid with each other. When you have police officers sharing photographs of murdered sisters. Now, if you've listened to me here any time, you'll know I'm a massive supporter of the police. I've been privileged to do the Met Awards for, I think, 10 of the last 11 years or 11 of the last 12 years. I can't remember which it is. I only had 1 year off for good behaviour. And I've even had family in the police. So I know there is a dark sense of humour that comes with doing that job. I get it. Because can you imagine if you spend your life effectively chasing after villains, possibly being shot at, picking bodies off roads, telling people that their beloved daughters have just been murdered or gone missing. Horrific. You're going to have to develop a thick skin and a dark sense of humour to get through it all. But what, for the love of God, has gone wrong with the Met? And when is someone actually going to take some ownership?